So you ever feel like you asked God for something very specific, like, I don't know, 9 billion years ago, and till this day, you still have yet to see it? It's like God forgot about you or something. Well, if that is indeed you, then one, I can relate. And two, this video is definitely for you, because today we're gonna talk about what you actually can do when you feel like God is just taking too long. Yo, it's your girl Janine St. G. Welcome back to my world where we are documenting the process of going from zero to hero to live a life of maximum fulfillment. Listen, today I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna waste your time, baby. Let's get into it. No, for real, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that you wanna do when you feel like, I don't know, like I think God forgot about me, is look for signs. So signs, I could probably do a whole video on signs, but essentially signs are like a head nod from God, like, yo, I'm still working on your stuff. I'm still working on your thing. But you know, your timing is different than my timing, and I'm still doing me, but I know your human self needs to know that like something's happening, right? You put in this request 9 billion years ago. I just want you to know that it's still happening, right? That's a lot of times, like, that's the point of the signs that you'll likely be getting. So don't ignore them if you're seeing them. Take that energy that you're getting, that head nod from God, and be like, okay, cool, it's coming. In the meantime, let me just be patient. Let me just relax. Let me let it go, first of all, because it's literally in God's hands. It's literally in God's hands. Now, if you feel like you're not seeing any signs at all, could be two things. It could be that you're not asking for them. The reality is God is always throwing out signs, but it's just about our ability to actually perceive them, right? And so if you feel like I'm not seeing nothing, or maybe my perception is off, that's something that you want to pray for. And that's why it's so important. I think I've talked about this before, that we need to be praying all the time, because once you're like in that constant communication with God, it's very easy to get the signs, because that's how God is that's one of the ways that God can communicate with you, right? So yeah, if you're not seeing the signs, pray for them. Number two, another reason why you may not be seeing signs is because you're asking for something that's not in your best interest. However, the thing that you're asking for that may not be in your best interest, God is working on something else that's gonna replace the desire that you have for that thing that wouldn't have been good for you. So basically, don't worry about it, because you're about to get something even better than you could have ever imagined. Which brings me to my next point. You should really take heart in the fact that if it's taking too long, it's likely not going to be that mediocre thing that you asked for. You asked for something so small, and that's why you're like, well, why is it taking so long? It shouldn't take this long for the little thing that I asked for. And God's like, why are you asking for small things? I got big things for you, you know? So a lot of times that big thing is just gonna take more time. And when I say time, I'm talking about in human terms. In God terms, time is like literally one moment. So God doesn't even think, you're over here like, oh my God, it's taking forever. And God's like, it's already done. Literally, it's already done. So take heart in that. Take heart in the fact that it is literally already done. It's just a matter of time, a matter of human time before you actually get to see it in physical form. But also that it's going to be a lot bigger than what you originally asked for. It's going to be like dressed up in bows and all types of stuff, things that you would like, you couldn't even conceptualize it. And so I guess ultimately what I'm saying is let go of the time thing and just let it happen, which I know is really annoying. I know it's really, really annoying, but that's why a lot of this channel is really dedicated to talking about really focusing in and being in your purpose and doing all the things that you need to do to get you in alignment with your purpose and walking that path. And by purpose, I mean like your life purpose, like the reason for you being here. Anyway, more on that later. Let's stay on topic. The last point that I have is that you need to be in preparation mode. So when you feel like God is taking too long, again, like I said, it's probably going to be something so big, a lot bigger than what you asked for, that your whole life is going to change drastically. Like it's going to be full 180, 360, whatever you want to call it, is going to change. What does that mean? You need to be preparing, and not just like, oh, I said that I want a new house, so let me get my budget right. Let me get my savings in order to, it's not even that. It's that you need to grow in faith. That's the type of preparation that you need to be working on, because when, let's say you did ask for something big, or, you know, period. If it's taking a long time, it's because it's going to be big. It's going to be transformational. It's going to be, I don't even have the word for it. Okay, we can't fathom it. And things that are unfathomable, things that you couldn't have come up with, are so divine that if your faith isn't at like 1,000, it's going to be really hard to accept it, and it's going to be really hard to fully enjoy it because you're going to be so worried about so many different things. I think one of the biggest worries that come up when you get this huge thing that you've been waiting for, but that you didn't realize was going to be so big, is like, how am I going to keep this? You know what I mean? But like, the whole point is, if God brought it to you, then God's going to make sure that you keep it, right? But again, that's a level of understanding that you'll only have if your faith is on 1,000, if you've been in that preparation mode, right? And then when we talk about getting your faith, like growing in faith, it comes back again to like staying in constant communication with God and really working on your personal relationship with God. So yeah, I think I mentioned the whole purpose thing, right? Okay. So I'm gonna real quick. So that's basically all I had to say, but real quick as an aside. So I mentioned the purpose thing when I was talking about like, you know, just taking heart in the fact that it's taking a long time because it's big, right? Which is annoying to hear because you're like, but I've been waiting forever. And then I brought the purpose point up. So here's the benefit of being in your purpose. One, it takes up your time. It's like a nice little distraction. And it's honestly the thing that you should be, the only thing that you really need to be worried about, focused on, or whatever, right? The rest of it is for God to do, right? The other thing about being in your purpose though, is that it literally requires that you have a personal relationship with God. That's the only way you're going to know, like, okay, how do I get to the next step? How do I do this? How do I do that? Right? And so, yeah, that's why it's huge. That's why I'm going to document my process in that walk, right? Walking in my purpose. And that's why I want to talk about that more. So if this was helpful, if it resonated, if you feel like, yeah, this was hitting, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share because we're trying to grow the community. And yeah, I think that's it. This might be my shortest heart-to-heart ever. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I don't think I told you this was also a heart-to-heart. It's part of a whole series. I have a whole playlist. Check them out if you need a little inspiration or like a little, just a little. Okay, bye, I love you. Oh, also, I forgot. I feel like I'm always doing this. I always be forgetting things, so I bring it in last minute. But if this did resonate with you, please let me know in the comments, because yesterday I was walking and talking to one of my friends, and as I was saying it, something was like, nah, somebody needs to hear this. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I came here and gave this whole thing. But anyway, just so you know, don't worry, God did not forget about you. Okay, bye. For real this time. It's your girl Janine Sage. Today we are not gonna delay. I ain't even gonna waste your time. That's fine. I have another thing. It's your girl Janine Sage. Welcome back to my world where we are documenting the process of going from zero to hero to live a life of maximum fulfillment. Listen, really gotta change that intro. And today I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna waste your time. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.